My council are renewing my kitchen and welcome back to day 3. If you haven't been following me, I'm Tara and I moved into this council house 2 years ago after my previous flat flooded with sewage. Since moving into this house, I've done a lot of work. So when the council said that they would be renewing my kitchen, it was a relief off my shoulders. The first 2 days went pretty well. One man turned up on the first day, stripped all the kitchen and ripped up the floors. On the second day, 2 men chased out for new plug sockets and I got a new ceiling light. My first problem did occur when I noticed that after they had left, I went into my son's room, who's just off the kitchen, and found 2 big holes in his newly plastered wall that I'd paid for. But these things do happen and I'm hoping that they will fix it. So here was what happened on day 3. In the morning I was getting ready for my child's sports day, and by 8 o'clock 3 new gentlemen had arrived and one from the previous day. One, who I presume is the owner of the building company, asked me if he could come Saturday. I said unfortunately not, as I'd already told the project manager I was working that day, and of course my teenagers might be home and I didn't want to leave them unattended with the builders. He did go on to say it would be just one man finishing off the painting, to which I was a little bit surprised due to the conditions of the walls. By this point my mum had turned up to watch my toddler's sports day and I mentioned it to her and she said, "Surely you've heard that wrong, Tara." I said, "No mum, I have not." Anyway, she said she would go and speak to them. So she went round the back and asked them if they were painting, and they said yes, along with doing the tiling that day. So she mentioned the cracks and the holes in the walls. When I met with the project manager, she told me if the walls were really bad, they would be skimmed. I don't know about anyone else, but I do think these walls are in a really bad condition and they were nowhere near prepared to be painted. Let me know your thoughts on this. Anyway, we told them to hold off. I got in contact with the council on Friday and said if they won't be skimming it, then I'd pay for it myself to be done. I have sent over the pictures of the cracks in the ceiling and on the walls. So I am just waiting now to hear back. When I prepared my walls for my own plasterer, got every single bit of paper off, and it took me absolutely ages, and I just really want this done properly so it does last. After my child's sports day, there was just a tiler left and he was getting on with the tiles. He'd done a really good job and was a nice man, and around 1 o'clock all the cabinets had arrived. I did notice that the worktop was in the alleyway, and when I had a quick look at it, they'd sent me the wrong one. Not even sure if this can be changed now, but it wasn't the option that I picked, and that was basically day 3. After the man had left, I had no power, but I managed to FaceTime my mum and sort this myself. This was a Friday and I didn't want to be left all weekend with no electric. I just made sure that I turned all the switches off to do with the kitchen, and I am still a little bit concerned about this leak. On Friday evening I did just want to sit in a cold dark room. However, that night my neighbours did bring me over a Caribbean takeaway and this cheered me up. It was so lovely of them. So if you'd like to see how this all turns out, come back for day 4.